up? It's your boy Braulio Arch, and we back at it again with another card interview. This right here is my baby brother Braden, who is gonna be in this thing with us and kind of talk to us about what it looks like for him. Braden, how old are you?
15.
15 years old. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Excellent. That's dope. Just because he's a Christian doesn't mean that everybody on these interviews are going to be a Christian. There may be some people who aren't, and we'll talk about what God is to them, because we want to know who God is to each and every individual, because we understand that God deals with all of us differently. He deals with all of us in a different space, understanding that we are different people. So I thought it was dope that I interviewed my brother because he's so young, and I kind of want to see what see that perspective from somebody that is in the trenches, right? Somebody that's in these schools right now and doing it. So Braden, since you did say that you are a Christian, like what is growing up as a Christian look like for you? Like what is that? What is your relationship with God?
Well, my relationship with God is I don't feel like it's where it should be, but
Okay.
I feel like I'm growing. Like as I grow, it'll grow and be stronger.
Absolutely. That's super dope, because a lot of times what we think is that our relationship's supposed to start up here. You know what I mean? And that's not realistic. Like God works with us and he takes baby steps with us, and we grow and we learn more and more about him. That's super dope. Why do you think it's important to grow up as a Christian? Like why is it important to be in the Christian faith?
Well, if you're in a Christian family, it's important like to be at church or to grow up in church, because you get to learn about like all the things that God has done for you, and like how he saved you and all that other stuff.
That's super dope, man. I like that. And just kind of understanding. You get an understanding of who God really is, right? That's great. So as a young person, like you said, you were 15 years old, right? And I understand that at being 15, remembering when I was 15, there were a lot of like fears and things that I dealt with as an individual, even as a Christian. So like, how do you deal with fears as a Christian? Like, how do you go on each and every day, like dealing with those fears?
It was like, well, two of my main fears would be like temptation and death. Like
Okay.
I'm not afraid to say that I'm scared of death. Like I know I'm scared of death, but I feel like if I like grow in my walk like with God, I wouldn't be like as afraid of death as I am now. And like temptation, I could like pray to him and ask him to keep me strong so I don't fall into the trap.
Wow. That's dope. Fall into the trap. I like that. Dope. And just recognizing that temptation is going to come. You know what I mean? And I think the greatest part about that is that you recognize that. You recognize that temptation is going to come, and your help comes from the Lord, right? Your help comes from God. And I think that's super, super dope that you recognize that. And also, one other thing is to recognize that God is not giving us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. So you remember those two things, you'll be straight, right? One more thing. I want you to, well, not one more thing. I got two more things. But this thing right here, I want you to finish my sentence. All right? You ready?
Yes, sir.
God is
Love.
That was quick, boy. You was ready to go. God is love. That's dope. That's dope. And he is love. He is love. And again, man, I appreciate this interview. And before we go, can I get oh God?
Oh God.
Oh man, I love this little dude. Hey man, thank you so much for your interview. I appreciate you. Boy. You are amazing. And if y'all are a first time, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. We want to get as many people in here as possible to understand that this is an individual walk. The way that God deals with Braden, he's going to deal with me differently. And he's going to deal with you differently. He's going to deal with moms differently and pops differently, because each and every one of us are individuals. And he loves us. He loves the differences. He loves your imperfections. He sees our perfections in our imperfections. So you all have a tremendous night, tremendous day whenever you watch this. And I love y'all in a crazy way. Oh God!
Oh God.